My name is Patrick McCabe, and I swear what I'm about to tell you is completely true. It's something that changed the way I think about nighttime sounds forever. For context, I've always had terrible teeth. I mean, really bad, overlapping, crooked, painful since I was a kid. Because of that, I didn't get my wisdom teeth out until years after most people. I was already out of college by the time I finally sat down for that consultation. The oral surgery itself went fine, but the recovery was brutal. I'm not exaggerating when I say it was one of the most painful experiences of my life. My whole face felt like it was on fire for days, and the pain meds were the only thing keeping me from losing my mind. The doctor prescribed 2 different painkillers that I had to alternate every 3 hours. 3 hours. That meant setting alarms all night long, waking up in a haze, swallowing pills, then trying to drift back into sleep before the pain kicked in again. I did that for almost a week, and it completely wrecked my sleep schedule. My body forgot what normal rest even felt like. I'd wake up in these half-dream states, not quite awake, not quite asleep, feeling like I wasn't even human anymore. Just something, surviving in the dark. One night, around 4 a.m., I woke up for my next dose. My mouth throbbed like someone was driving nails into my jaw. I took my pills, drank some water, and laid back down. But something was different that night. It was hot. Not warm, but suffocatingly hot. The kind of heat that clings to your skin. I realized the AC must have gone out again, so I got up, stumbled to the window, and slid it open to let in some air. The moment I did, the silence of the room changed. I could hear the woods outside, the faint chirping of crickets, a distant breeze, maybe the creak of a branch. Normal sounds, I thought. But then, beneath that natural rhythm, came another sound. It was faint at first, a soft, rhythmic scratching. At first, I told myself it was probably a raccoon or a squirrel. We live in a wooded area, and pests come with the territory. But the longer I listened, the stranger it sounded. It wasn't random like animal noises usually are. It was deliberate, slow, dragging, scraping. Then it shifted. The sound moved from somewhere near my window to directly above me, on the roof. I froze. I remember lying there, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling as the scratching continued above my head. It wasn't loud, but it was close. Too close. After maybe a minute, the noise started moving, crawling from one side of the roof to the other, then fading into the distance. That should have been the end of it. I should have rolled over and gone back to sleep. But I couldn't. I kept picturing some animal digging through the shingles, clawing its way into our attic, just like the raccoons we'd had before. My dad had gone ballistic the last time that happened, so I figured I'd better check before it got worse. I was exhausted and half-drugged, but adrenaline took over. I grabbed one of my dad's heavy-duty flashlights from the garage, slipped on a pair of shoes, and stepped out into the night. The air outside was still and heavy. Crickets stopped chirping the moment I closed the door behind me, leaving only silence and the crunch of gravel under my feet. I aimed the flashlight beam up toward the roof above my bedroom window. Nothing. The shingles glared back at me, empty and still. I sighed, convincing myself that whatever had been up there had moved on. Still, I started walking slowly around the house, keeping the light steady, sweeping it across the roofline as I went. The woods loomed behind the house, pitch black except for the narrow beam of my flashlight. When I reached the front yard, I was about to turn back when I caught something, a flicker of motion in the far corner of my vision. Something shifted on the roof. I jerked the flashlight up, and that's when my entire body locked up. There, standing perfectly still in the beam of my flashlight, was a person. A naked person. At first, my brain refused to process it. I thought maybe it was a trick of the light. Maybe a mannequin. But then it moved, just slightly, like a twitch, and I saw the glint of eyes reflecting the beam back at me. My breath caught in my throat. This wasn't an animal. It wasn't even trying to hide. It was just standing there on my roof, staring down at me like it had been caught in the act. And then I screamed. I didn't mean to, it just happened. A raw, terrified sound tore out of me. The second I did, the thing reacted. It flinched away from the light, moving with this impossible, jerky speed, scuttling across the roof on all fours like some kind of insect. I tried to follow it with the beam, but it was too fast. Within seconds, it had disappeared over the side of the house. I sprinted toward the back, yelling for my dad even though I knew he was asleep inside. I don't know what I thought I was going to do, fight a naked psycho on my own. But fear makes you act before you think. I rounded the corner just in time to see the figure crouched at the edge of the roof above my bedroom window, like it was about to jump. "No way," I whispered. "There's no way you're actually." It leapt. The sound it made when it hit the concrete was sickening, a full-bodied thud that echoed through the yard. For a split second, I thought it was dead. But then it moved. It stood up. Just stood up, like nothing had happened. Before I could even react, it charged at me. It hit me hard, knocking the flashlight out of my hand. I fell backward, and suddenly it was on top of me, clawing at my face, shrieking in these horrible guttural noises. I felt nails tearing into my skin, warm blood pouring down my cheeks. I kicked and screamed, but it was unbelievably strong. Its breath smelled rotten, and its skin was cold, clammy, like it hadn't seen sunlight in years. I honestly thought I was going to die. And then I heard the back door slam open. My dad's voice, yelling my name, cursing, sprinting toward us. He grabbed the thing by the shoulders and yanked it off me. For a split second, I saw its face clearly under the porch light, hollow eyes, pale skin stretched tight over bone, and this grin that didn't look human. Then it twisted free of my dad's grip, darted toward the fence, and vaulted over it into the woods. We stood there in shock, covered in my blood, listening to the sound of its footsteps fading into the trees. I don't remember much after that. I passed out before we even got to the hospital. The doctors patched me up and gave me shots for everything under the sun, tetanus, rabies, you name it. The police showed up later, but they couldn't find a thing. They said searching the woods would be pointless. My dad later found scratch marks near the attic vent, like someone had been trying to dig their way in. It's been months now, but I still can't sleep through the night. Every time I hear something on the roof, I freeze. Because the sound that started all of it, that slow, dragging scratch. Sometimes I still hear it. And when I do, I never open the window.